Today we're going to talk about manipulation of the price of Bitcoin and the fact that it is happening even now and how ridiculous it is. But hopefully we can use it for our good and we can set some nice targets for going long and take profits. So first I would like to show you this bear market which was in 2014, in 2015 for Bitcoin. And what you can see here is very significant thing is that previously after the drop from the top there was a point where we have a very strong pullback and then almost the same level was tested once again, and we sort of broke this level downwards once but not that much, and it seemed like we were about to going up, at least we had the chance to go up, but then the price went down more 50%. Now what you would see in 2018, it's very similar picture but it's even more exaggerated. So after the drop from the top we had this low at around $6,000 and then we corrected upwards. Then we had the drop once again and was almost the same level, then one more correction, and this level tested third time and fourth time and once again, and then eventually it started to look like we are about to have a reversal because you see the lows are very the same, so we don't have a lower low. At least we may have a hope for that. And if you look at the classical textbooks about the technical analysis, you will find that the more a certain level is tested by the price, the stronger it becomes. However, it may be partially true when we have a sort of a channel where the price is going like within this channel to a certain degree until the point that this channel will be broken. Indeed, the levels seem to be a very strong buy entry or sell if you look at the top of the channel. However, in this case, when we have a bearish market and the price is continuing to go down in terms of the tops, the more we test this level, the less strong it becomes. It basically means that there are less and less buyers at this level and we finally will go down if the price will attempt to test it once again. So we did it. We broke it downwards just pretty much the same as we did in 2014-15. Now, what is interesting, if you look at any other market like S&P 500, and if you look at the previous drops of this market, somewhere like 2008 and 2000 years, so you can see that we had lower highs and lower lows constantly during the bear trend. And then we had a higher low and the price reversed. The same thing here, lower lows, lower highs, price reversed. Classical behavior. Nasdaq, pretty much the same. Moreover, this huge drop in 2001, you had lower lows, lower highs, clear bearish trend. So when people are seeing this, they understand, especially the people who are not panic sellers who already sold like around here or even here, those who were trying to distinguish between the really huge drop, really devastating bearish trend and just a correction before the next rise. So if they see this, they will understand, okay, we're in a very strong bearish movement. We will not enter until we will see the higher low, at least, and higher high. This is a clear situation. And you can find the same thing for most of the stocks, like Apple was doing pretty much the same. For example, here, lower highs, lower lows. 2012, pretty much the same. Like Micron, for example, also very, very similar behavior, lower lows, lower highs, then some consolidation, and then we finally go up again, and so on and so forth. The only one which is actually very similar to Bitcoin, at least among the huge stocks, is Microsoft Corporation. And it's actually interesting because Microsoft is sort of a company which is doing the business around computers and so on, and Bitcoin is high tech as well. So just interesting coincidence. So basically here for Microsoft we had a very similar situation about the having sort of a bottom multiple times, trying to attempt the same level, and then finally we had the last drop of the price, and after that the price went up. So basically those types of the bear market, I would say they are not typical. And in this case, if there is kind of manipulation of the price when it was artificially held at this level, it sort of leads to the fact that people are having the hope that this is a strong level, some fundamental level. For example, the miners cannot mine if the price will go below this level because of the mining price, so they have to close mining and nobody will want to do that for the industry, so the price of 6,000 should hold and so on and so forth. But in fact it was just a misleading thought, and we went lower and had this little bit more than 3,000 level as a potential bottom for the time being. Now, here is my speculative thought about it. So if you look at this meme triangle above $6,000, you would see that you may build it, actually draw it in different ways. And I would say there are two main options. So this one, when we have 1, 2, 3 tops and the bottom line was somewhere around $5,800. After the testing of this top of this triangle, once again we finally broke it, but very close to the apex. And the second option is building it like this. So when we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tops, and then we actually had a sort of sideways breakout of this triangle, giving people hope that we are going up because the price didn't go below this triangle, but it appeared to be a bullish trap, and both triangles played very nicely in terms of tricking people, and they are finally believed that we have a chance to go up. At least some people believe that. And usually when we deal with breakouts of those triangles, we would expect that the price will go above and below the triangle on the height of this triangle. So if you'll measure this distance, it will give you something like $1,700 as the level where the price will go after the drop. However, this didn't happen. So if you'll measure the height of this triangle, it will be like $4,250. And we dropped only by $2,700 or something like that. Now, if you'd assume that the same situation is happening right now, but just inverted, so you see the similar triangle with a wider version and the more narrower version with the points number is different for two different triangles, you would expect that people who are manipulating the market, they would want to play the same trick and make us believe that the price will not be able to break this $4,100 eventually, or even make it with a little correction or like sell off around here, so we'd see that okay, we are going down the same as it was here, and then we finally will break upwards. In this case, we may not go to the full length of the triangle, but the same percentage of the height of the triangle. So if you'll calculate how far did it go, you'll get $2,700 divided by $4,250. You would get like 64%. And taking account the height of this triangle, which was like almost $1,100, so you'll multiply $1,100, you will get almost $700. So going from $4,100 and plus $700, you will get like $4,800 as the target for the next rise above this triangle. What is interesting is that if you'll make the Fibonacci retracement starting from the highest point of the previous triangle to the lowest point which we had here, then this level is pretty much the same as 23.6% retracement level, which would give you another reason to believe that the price will indeed could go to this level after the breakout of this triangle. But in fact, instead of going directly there, again we can make a correction before, or sort of a bull trap, and in order to define where this bull trap will stop, like which level, until which level the price will correct, I would pay the most attention to moving averages, and 200 weeks moving average, which we used as a support during this huge drop, and as well here. So I think this is the strongest level, the strongest reference point for the future support if the price will decide to have a correction. So extrapolating this line somewhere on here, I would say it's $3,600, maybe a little lower. And the second thing is 20 weeks moving average, which we already covered while we were talking about the Bollinger Bands in previous episodes. And you see it was a very nice signature of the bear trend. So every time when the price goes above that, it immediately returns back because of the bearish condition of the market. And until now, we were very much below this 20 weeks moving average. And just very recently, we went above this line. And again, there are two options. So we either will stay above it and make even higher high and something like this that would confirm that the trend had reversed, or we can go below this moving average and actually stuck between those two moving average in a very, very narrow range. Alternatively, we can actually have a pullback from this moving average on the attempt of going lower. So this is another level which I would pay attention to, and this would be probably something like $3,700. But one way or another, I think it's more likely to have a bullish scenario eventually. Although again, this was very long uptrend and it requires a correction really. And continuing it even further, I would say that if you look again at this Fibonacci retracement, then another level at 38.2% would be at $5,800, which was a very strong support before, and now it will be also very strong resistance. It doesn't make much sense in a way that we actually will go to the new trend, but probably with those levels, price still will have some reaction during it will go up or during its attempts going up. Of course, guys, it's all of those are just my thoughts, not a financial advice as usual, so please make your own research on the matter. And I would like to end my video with this news from Japan. Japan's biggest railway plans to accept cryptocurrencies payments. So there are private railways in Japan, and the biggest one is Japan Railways Group, and they actually announced their intention to establish a cryptocurrency company and possibly an exchange in partnership with a major bank to integrate cryptocurrencies. And in fact, that if they will do that, they probably will save some fees for the payments. So this 2, 3, 5% for their revenue is really, really nice in such a market which we have now in a global scale. And everything was on TV. So after they will finally manage to do that, like within a year or two maybe, then Bitcoin will be pretty much above the bottom at least, and maybe even during the bullish cycle. And also, you remember maybe Rakuten was announcing the plan to integrate crypto payments in their system, and also a lot of banks in Japan are doing the same thing. And by the way, just remember, in 2017 there was a news about status of cryptocurrencies in Japan, or particularly in Bitcoin as a currency, and you all remember what happened after that. So very bullish, a lot of adoption, and a lot of the sort of a change of the sentiment about the cryptocurrency in masses. So people will see that, okay, you can pay with crypto for your train tickets, so probably it's a legit thing. Okay guys, that is it for today. I hope it was useful. Thank you for watching.